Guys, welcome back. So I don't know if you remember, but a few months back I took this to the beach on holiday with me, and yeah, this happened.
Oh shit! I think I might have just fucked it. I might have fucked it. Look at that absolute penis.
This thing got completely washed out by the ocean, and it killed a lot of the electronics, so the receiver died on it. Somehow the ESC, I think, might still be okay. Most of the servos are still good as well, which is very surprising. But one thing that has happened is rust has definitely occurred and come in and made its way home on all of the parts, and the rear is completely locked up. The front is that's locked up as well, so I'm gonna have to strip this whole entire thing. The motor's dead as well, so that's gonna have to come out most probably. I'm gonna have to strip this thing right down, let's face it. It's not gonna be a fun or enjoyable process, mainly because of all of that. Look at the state of it. Look at what salt water does to your RCs, guys. Don't even bother taking them to the beach, I'm telling you. This thing was one of my favorite things. It's got the rear wheel steer, it's got the little FPV camera in it there that turns. You've got the driver in it that steers, and the steering wheel turns, and it had a huge battery in it as well. I think it was something like a 600 or an 800 milliamp hour 2S battery, so it would drive for absolutely ages. And I really miss this thing, so do you know something? I think it's time that we try and revive this bad boy and make it good again. So it's gonna take a hell of a lot of time, and I hope it's gonna work. It might not work, but you know something, I'm fed up of looking at it, sort of weeping at it, going, oh my god, the poor thing. So let's sort it out, it deserves it. Right, now that's completely stripped down. Well, I'm saying completely stripped down. Now that's everything off of the car. I can see the severity of what the rust is done to this thing. So I think all of the bearings that are on it, as you can see there, they're all rusted out. So I'm gonna have to try and either change them or salvage them. Hopefully salvage them, because I haven't really got enough spares. But every screw that's on these things have gone rusty. I can only imagine what's going on inside of this thing. So let's take it apart and find out, I suppose. Right, let's get stripping this thing. Right, that's all the screws out of it, so hopefully now we can just pop these side bits off. Pop that off and pop that off. Now give us a chance to... Oh, that is spinning. It is spinning, so it is obviously an issue with the bearings, but we're gonna take this apart anyway. Let's take this drive shaft off. Let's have a look, see what's going on inside. That is actually really clean, really clean. Inside bearings seem to be okay. I don't think they've been affected at all. You know, so we can almost put that back together. There's a couple of bits of sand on there, so I'll go get rid of that. We put a little bit of WD-40 on the bearing. We're going to put that back together. Problem must be with these bearings here, I'm guessing. Well, they're locked up completely. Keep them on. What we're going to do, we're going to pop them off. Right, I've spent ages now wiggling it and spraying WD-40 in it and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden it went and it started to rotate. So it's now spinning freely, which is good. Great news, because I couldn't really find any spares. Now I've got to tackle this side, and this side looks even worse. But yes, yeah, so I'm going to do the same thing. Take the knuckle off, if I can. There we go. Take that off. Let's just take that off because it didn't weigh. And then, yeah, just get spraying it with some WD-40. Let that penetrate. Right, now that's them done. Let's put it back together and start on the other one. Alright guys, so I've managed to get both of these axles working and spinning nice and freely. So that's great news right there. Now it's time to start stripping the motor off. And quite frankly, look at the state of this thing. It is absolutely filthy. I don't trust that this motor is going to be good for much longer, to be honest with you. If it does work, that is. I mean, it seems to spin, it makes the right noises, but for what it's worth, how deep this is inside the RC, I'm going to just change this out for a brand new one. So I've got right here, as you can see, an NS200, so that's a 200 RPM motor. I got from dronejunkie.co.uk, as I get most of my Orlando parts, or all of my Orlando parts, to be honest with you. Get them all from him, what a legend. So yeah, I'm going to strip this down and put a new motor in it. Another thing that I've got to do as well is test these servos. So this servo that was on, this was mounted on the front, I believe. I need to get testing that, so to test that, I'm not going to use the old ESC once again. It's another one of them things. It's going to be so deep in the actual RC car that if it got any problems, then it's not going to be easy to get to. So I'm going to change this out. Look at all the corrosion you can see on it. Oh my goodness me. So yeah, I'm going to change it out. We've got a brand new one there, which is a TS0001 ESC by Orlando Hunter. Yes, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to take this thing here apart and change the motor over for the new one. So let's do that. Right, so we have mounted the motor in there. We have also connected a battery to the new ESC and connected that to the receiver. I've bound the receiver to the controller and connected basically everything. So we can see on this one here, got my controller, that's working. So we know we've got our forwards and backwards is working, so that's great news. The servo that's on it, time to test that, see if it's dead or not. So it seems to be working, you know. It seems to be absolutely fine. So that's working, brilliant stuff. So now it's time to test some of the other servos, I guess. Right, this is the old rear servo. That's working all nice as well, so that's good. Right, this was the little steering guy, so he's still working. That's pretty cool. Right, this is the servo for the camera, and as you can see, it's working, but it's really grumpy. It's not always turning, and quite frankly, if you look at it, it's overheated at some stage, and it's sort of deformed the casing. There you go, you can see it on this side as well, where the motor's got too hot. So that thing is no good at all. So I'm going to change this one servo. So I'll tell you what, one servo out of 4 ain't too bad to be replacing. So I'm happy enough to do that. Guys, check it out. Look at this. So what I've done, I've actually removed all of the paint that was on the chassis rails. So there was a few rust spots, so I thought sod it, get rid of it. But yeah, tidied that up a bit. Managed to get everything on there, so that's all now connected and good to go. I've got to do the light clusters still, so I'm going to put new LEDs in them because obviously they got salt water in them, so I doubt they're going to work. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And I've been thinking of a way as well to try and neaten it up, because before it was cables absolutely everywhere. One of the things that I've done is, this is the receiver, and you can see I've chopped off a bit of the outer case there. I've chopped off a bit of the outer case there as well. I'm going to have it so it sits right there like that. Boom. Look at that. Lovely stuff. And the reason for it sitting like that, or reason for having to cut them bits off, is because otherwise it won't fit in this hole here. When it is that you do the top up, lo and behold, them bits move over and that will fit lovely. But if I didn't do that, it wouldn't fit. It was too wide. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put the ESC just there like that. I'm going to be taking all these cables off as well and shortening them right up so that they just about fit. So yeah, that's going to go there, and then the other servo will fit nicely in that gap there. So hopefully that will certainly neaten everything up quite a lot. But yes, we shall see. I'm going to carry on adding all of these bits and bobs that I need to do, and like I said, shorten all them cables. So see where we get in a minute. Okay guys, check this out. So basically I have gone ahead and done all of the wiring. Look how much neater that is. Look, all this is nice and clear now. The other side is still a little bit messy, but it kind of has to be for the camera cables. Everything has been wired in now, so I've added an extra switch there so I can turn on or off the camera, so that way if anyone's doing FPV flying, I can turn this off and I'm not going to interfere with them if I want to just go for a drive. We've got the guys mounted in there now. Obviously the FPV camera mount or servo, that's mounted there as well. We've done all of the lights as well, so they're now done. I've got to mount this switch here, down here. This switch is the on-off switch, so I'm going to be mounting that onto here, and everything is pretty much done. So I've just got to finalize a couple of little bits on this, and then we can stick the top on and it will be finished. Well, hey, how about that? Blimey. So let's crack on. Guys, this thing is done. It's finished. It's back alive. So back from the dead, Mr. Davy Jones Locker. He's not taking this one. So this bad boy is now fully working. And we've got the rear wheel steers working on it. We've got the FPV cameras working on it. We've got the steering driver that's in there. He's happy driving away. We've got the LED lights are working both on the front and also on the rear as well. We even found the missing step there, so that was gone, and luckily enough I found that in a pot somewhere, so I've glued that back on. I've added new handles, we've added the mud flaps to it. All the wiring is so much nicer inside. I'm currently running this on a 400 milliamp hour 2S LiPo, so it's a bit smaller, but you know something, it really helps with the weight. The thing is amazing. It's once again one of my all-time favourite cars. I have one of these little bad boys here, which is a little FPV screen from Eachine. You can put an SD card in there and record your FPV footage, so this thing works really well with that thing there. Right guys, this thing is now done, so thanks for watching this video, and don't forget, if you've not subscribed already, please do, and hit that bell icon as well so you don't miss the next video where I'll hopefully be driving this thing. So thanks for watching guys, take care now.